A lot of organizations we work with at Capitalist Consulting are citing volunteerism, or a lack thereof of volunteers, as one of the biggest, if not the biggest challenge they have in their organization today. We're going to find ways in which you could recalibrate how you have traditionally looked for volunteers to how you need to look for volunteers now, dealing with a new generation of people who volunteer, who see the world differently and act differently. The equivalent of, in jobs terms, that is 863,000 full-time job equivalents just given to you. Aggregate volunteer hours are actually declining, so the total group volunteer effort is getting smaller. But here's the confusing thing. The actual number of volunteers, the number of people volunteering, has increased by approximately 1 million. And here's the scary thing for amateur sport. The greatest area of decline is in people of age 35 to 45. And as you know, that is the age group when we rely on a lot of volunteers to coach. I hear all the time, you can't get volunteers, it's in complete decline. Well, maybe it's not in stark decline, because as I've said, there's more people in the system. Maybe it's just changing shape. So we've developed 7 rules we think are appropriate now for you to use in capturing 21st century sport volunteers. There's skills to acquire, there's fun to be had, there's friends to be made, there's contributions to society to be made, there's a community to connect with. Don't assume people have all that in their lives. So promote volunteerism as something that they should be proud to be involved in, not a favor you're asking. And there's a new value proposition required for young volunteers, and here's what it is. Another reason young people like to volunteer is for social interaction. Young people have a voice these days. They like to know as well that they're making a difference. So how are we actually telling our young volunteers that they're making a difference? We can't assume that they know this. Young people love to connect, and they're experts at it, and they love to connect online. And understand, getting it online doesn't mean putting a volunteer here button on your website and hoping for the best. Find ways to get volunteers to post their own positive volunteering experiences, not necessarily embedded in a video of your own. Use social media to get your volunteers selling volunteerism for you. It's really interesting. We did a full survey once of an organization. We asked all the volunteers, and there were lots of volunteers in this organization, how do you get rewarded? And when we said, how would you like to be rewarded? Guess what the #1 answer was? You see, good volunteers aren't really in it to get a prize. Most volunteers are in it for the reasons I've outlined in this tutorial.